play this record as frequently as possible.
Hello, welcome to Spicy Hot News, giving you the best and what you need to know. If you want to know about hip-hop and stay updated about hip-hop related news, consider subscribing to this channel because it's about to get down. If you're gonna remember, there was a time when a lot of people were waiting for A-Reece to drop an album. Sadly, A-Reece didn't come up with an album. He didn't come up with a post stating that he's not going to drop an album. He didn't come up with an Instagram story saying that he's not going to drop an album on that day. So a lot of people waited and waited and waited over the night, but on that day, A-Reece didn't drop. Now fast forward to this time, mashbeatz finally came up with an album, Fire in the Water. As you all know that if you're gonna hear some mashbeatz, it actually means that we're gonna hear a lot of A-Reece on there. Yeah. So finally on that chance we got to hear some A-Reece. But now the problem is, still up to this date, we haven't got any A-Reece album, which means in 2019 A-Reece didn't drop any album. But now at the same time, A-Reece fans are quite satisfied because A-Reece came up with some answers for questions that they always had. I mean, a lot of people were waiting for A-Reece to drop because they wanted to hear how A-Reece will address the situation of the Wrecking Crew splitting up. They wanted to hear the full story of really what happened, and also they wanted to hear the side of A-Reece. Yeah. Now for those people who wanted to hear the story about the Wrecking Crew breaking up and what really went down, they are quite satisfied. They are happy and they got what they wanted. But also there are some people who wanted real music from A-Reece. There are some people who wanted something that comes from A-Reece, something which is not about Flame, which is not about Nasty C, which is not about any of the things that we had on Fire in the Water. So what I really mean is 80 to 90% of Fire in the Water is actually dedicated to the situation which took place earlier this year and every one of those situations involved. And I believe we all know that story and we've spoken about those a lot of times, and I'm assuming we all know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Now speaking about albums, there's this one thing which really caught my attention when I saw it yesterday, and I believe if you saw it too, it might have led you to think about something, or maybe you didn't notice, but now let's get into it. So yesterday, A-Reece posted a picture on his Instagram story, or maybe should I say a message, when he said Gold Fleece is in fact the first record we made for the album. And then below that there are two screenshots, Gold Fleece, and that screenshot has a date, of course, 24 July 2019. And then down below there's a second song, 444+26, which I believe is 777 in the album Fire in the Water, which was also made on the 14th of August 2019. And then he posted another pic, or maybe should I say a message again, when he was saying we initially created these two records for different projects. However, during the process, they turned into something bigger than us. We made the right choice adding them to the list. And then down below they also have two screenshots of these two projects they are talking about. Yeah. Number one, it's Lifestyle, of which was made on the 28th of June 2019. And then Fallen Heroes, of which also was made on the 28th of June 2019. But now this is what actually caught my attention. When you look at this second picture, there's this song Fallen Heroes. Fallen Heroes is the song that actually talks about give me those awards back, they should be mine, give me that it shouldn't be yours, give me those awards and all that. Everybody, including myself, we thought that song actually speak about Flame and those awards that he just won recently. But it looks like we were wrong. I think for A-Reece to be posting this story, she's actually telling us that, man, you were wrong. This song Fallen Heroes, I am not talking about Flame. I am not talking about the awards that Flame just won. I am not talking about the South African Hip Hop Awards. Why do I say that? Because South African Hip Hop Awards only took place around November 20, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong. So definitely A-Reece was not talking about that. Since A-Reece made this song before the awards, it means that he wasn't talking about Flame, because as far as I know, these two awards that Flame just won are his first awards. Damn. Now for A-Reece to be talking about give me those awards, they should be mine, they shouldn't be yours, all that applause and all those things, now it raised the question like, who is he talking about? Now let's talk about that on the comment section. Tell me who you think it is. Yeah. Now while we going forward with this, I want us to focus on this second one too. Let me read it again. We initially created these two records for different projects, and I want us to stop there on that full stop. In that sentence, I believe A-Reece is actually telling us that when they created these two records, they were working on two projects, of which the first one is Fire in the Water, of course, and then the second one is not fire in the water, which I would like to think, if it's not fire in the water, what is it? Is this the A-Reece album that we've been waiting for? As we all know that technically A-Reece is currently owing us an album this year because he didn't drop on that promised day, so he technically owes us an album. Now the biggest question that we have about that album, number one, when is it going to drop? Is he going to drop it next year on his regular date, or maybe he's gonna drop it earlier next year, 2020, around January or February? And then number two, is he going to talk about himself, his personality, stories that we relate to? Is he gonna give us the old A-Reece that we fell in love with, or maybe he's just gonna give us the diss tracks and everything that he's been giving us from the couple of songs that he gave us? The 2019 A-Reece, who's always talking about they hate me for this, they hate me for this, I did this, I put on this someone, I did this, those awards should be mine, this should be mine, those should be you, and this and this and this and this. Yeah. The biggest question is what the project is going to be about. I miss A-Reece, and I believe we all miss A-Reece. I feel like when he's going after some people, those people are actually holding him back. A-Reece deserves more, and I feel like A-Reece deserves a lot better. But at the same time, a lot of people prefer different types of A-Reece. Some people prefer the current A-Reece who's always going after some people. Damn! Now the big question is, what are we going to receive next? Now let's talk about this in the comment section, and if you enjoyed this video, just make sure that you like and subscribe. And as always, thank you very much for watching, and you should have a good day.